such an asshole.
So our good buddy Reen sent this one over. He says, "Hey, Cappy, what's your price on a reaction video / commentary? Thought I might send a Legion of Men. I enjoy his channel. Video. Someone tell him I'm trying to reach out for him for marketing. Like, yeah. So much money. But not sure you have any interest in doing those. Let me know." It says, depends on length. Legion of Men. He has some longer ones, but since you are a friend, Reen, I'd give you a decent discount. So he just wanted me to watch it, and instead of a live reactions are a pain in the ass because you got to pause. Shit, Modern Life John just had a video. I was watching it midstream, and because he was playing someone else's video too long, the whole thing got taken down. And it's just, it's like being in second grade. Anyway, so he's like, yeah, that's fine. Just go ahead, watch and then review it. And I'm glad I did because it's like Inception. It was Legion of Men responding to a video done by FBE Capital, also a channel I recommend. So then it would have been me doing a reaction to a reaction. I don't want to do that. I don't know. So I watched it. And basically what it was is FBE Capital was the original video that Legion of Men was responding to. Went and did some pretty good digging. And he went into the abyss. And the abyss is TikTok girls complaining about, already 20-something TikTok girls that, imagine if we had a map, right? That's Mordor. It's pretty bad. But he went to the volcano where Sauron was, if he ever happened to hang out there, where he went to feminist dating coach TikTok girls in their 20s. And he was very clever what he did. He went back about a month or two ago, and he looked up all the videos about the 4B movement. Remember that when that was a thing for about 10 seconds? I think it probably was when Trump got elected. Now I think so. It's back in November. It was like 3 months ago. So he saw all these girls predictably, oh my God, you voted Republican and low taxes and not to let a bunch of illegal aliens in, and you voted against crime, and you dared to want to have borders and like America, we hate you. And just the only agency is their sexuality, as Rollo says. We're taking sex strike, predictable fucking thing. But at that moment in time, there was this movement in Korea, which has been going on for quite some time, called the 4B movement. And B, I believe, you say, well, why is it the 4B movement? And the word no, I guess, phonetically starts with a B in Korea. And it was basically their version of a sex strikes. There was no sex, no children, no marriage, and I forgot, no niceness or kind, like legit. That movement in South Korea is a fringe, microscopic movement of a mentally deranged small percentage of the female Korean population. I know this because I watched a video of a woman who's from Korea, but she married an American, so she has dual nationality. She's like, yeah, that's a thing, but that's really, it's like going to a furry convention. Does it happen? Yes. It's a microscopically small percentage of the population. Not according to the media. It wasn't. Ooh, clicks, am I right? Journalists report the news and the facts, right? You totally wouldn't take that and run with it, would you? They did. Oh, look, and then you think, 1 in every 3 South Korean women is part of this 4B movement. Well, surprise, 20-something feminist TikTok girls ran with this football because Trump got elected. And we're doing it here, too. We're not even know this, know that. And guys are like, this, I don't remember the memes where the women were like, you're not getting sex from me. And you look at the girl and you're like, thank God. It's just so, I love that we're finally waking up to this leftist Democrat bullshit. You're all starting to see it. I saw it long ago. I see dead people. Oh, look at that crazy kid who sees dead people. Oh, he's a guy with a funny mustache and does a funny salute because he said he wanted low taxes. He said he's daring to call people out on their bullshit. What a horrible man. We should imprison him. And now they're like, oh my God, look at this woke shit. Oh my God, look at these girls. 20 years ago, you legit were like threatening me with physical violence. I remember one time arguing with the teacher, not about that specific topic, but he was like freaking, like he was pissed off. You could tell he wanted to punch me because I was like, for private schools. I wasn't even gonna like get rid of the public school. I'm like, well, you should have private schools or private vouchers. It's better for the kids. Ah! I'm sure him and his wife were the poors because she was also an education major. So now we see it. So what this FBE Capital guy did is he just went back to the chat. So he got a bunch of clips of them. I'm not having sex and don't need you believe in National Socialism because you voted for Trump. You're vile. I'm not doing anything with men. I'm gonna cut you off. So you do know what men like, and you do purposely use it as a weapon. Good to know. It's all for you guys to see. Their behavior is filmed. It's right there, guys. Oh, you're just harsh on women. Like, you see this internet thing, huh? Look at that. Look at that. You said I should be in prison and shot because I said this was a thing, and now you see the thing is the thing, and now you got kids now. You have boys, and they're of the age they're interested in girls, and you're realizing that you have skin in the game now. Now you listen to me. Fuck you. Hope the therapist bills are expensive and prohibitive. Anyway, so he doesn't even make it a month. He goes to their channels again. He finds all these clips. We don't need men. And then he finds them. So I opened up my app and I met this guy. And they're all going back to the guys. And one gal they focused on in particular was the screenshot of the gal there. Oh, she was crying, just nails on a chalkboard. We are in Holodomor. I'm sorry, Mordor. Holodomor is Soviet, also Democrat. We're in Mordor at the volcano with the orcs and Sauron, and it's just horrible because she starts doing the crying thing. And comes in feminist, and you men don't. You better have this. Like the made in a lab with all the worst attributes and traits, including what I would say is she's faking it. It's all fake crying. It's all for clicks. Because there's no consistency, and that was the point about the FBE Capital guy. Here they are, all strong and proud. Don't need no. And then all of a sudden, okay, I open up my app. Oh my God, I can't find a guy. Men are horrible. This was also about the time Luigi, six-pack Luigi, ended the healthcare CEO. They made an exception for him. He was hot. And that was the guy's point. It's like these girls come out and the world is slowly trying to assess what level of professional wrestling TikTok girls are. I don't think it's 100% outright fake. I think there is some authenticity in there, but they ham it up and fake it up. But that point is moot because this is what's being sent out into the internet. And the boys are looking like this is what's happening. And then, and I really try to be fair, Not all girls are as horrible as 20-something feminist TikTok girls. We got it right, okay? That's about the worst. But then you watch behavior in the real world, and yet everyone seems to agree with them on some level and have the same behavior at some level. Like, I'm still waiting for a girl to say, oh, there's this cute guy who works security, so I made him some cake and I brought it to him. It's like, I would have appreciated that. That would have been nice. And now the other side of me says, okay, this is pretty atrocious. But if it was atrocious, like it wasn't reflective at all, then there should be a lot of gals like, oh my God, men are the greatest, and here's how you can make them happy. And there's like videos of them bringing them cake and whatever. You don't see that, right? So I'm like, okay, so it's got to lean to the left a little bit. The truth is, it's to the left of the mean, right? True neutrality, it's to the left of the mean, or to the feminist of the neutral. It's in the misandrist, the anti-man, the male hatred, the male Annoyed, they don't like men that much. But the point was here, it's another bit of empirical evidence that it's either it's fake one way or another. Either they're faking it and they're trying to get clicks, or if they believe it, they're fake because they're hypocritical and they're contradicting themselves. And then Legion of Men, he goes in and he's right. He takes a step back. This is pigs rolling in mud. He's like, and I believe Legion of Man lives in the Czech Republic. He's somewhere in Eastern Europe. And he's got himself a wife, and he just comes in here and he's like, dude, what the fuck is this shit? What the fuck is this shit? Like, why are you in the United States? And the gal from Minnesota, like, yeah, exact. I mean, and I'll say, having lived in Minnesota for quite some time, that's more accurate than not. I would say so. I'm not going to watch your channel. I'm like, yeah, it fits. that rhymes. And he's like, why are you even bothering with it? Like, look, you guys, and he made a very good point, and maybe he didn't articulate it like this, but the thought in my mind was passport bros are going overseas to find your wife. By now, the Overton window should have moved that this is completely expected normal behavior. 2-3 years ago, oh my God, you can't get laid. You're a suck. How small is your dick? Right. Ignore all them. Okay. Tell them to shut up. You don't care anymore. It's so obvious now. Like, no, we're not. Why would you tolerate this? This is petulant, childish, annoying, aggravating behavior. My book was Behind the House. The Book of Numbers came out 3 or 4 years ago. There's the numbers. Even nowhere did I measure attitude or smarmy, cocky TikTok brain. I didn't measure that. I just looked at traits, and I'm like, yeah, there's very few women to marry here. Traditional marriage, if you're looking for that. And the behavior, admittedly biased, in one sect of young women, it's so bad. You're like, no, it is common sense to go to where women are thin and pleasant. That's it, right? We're not saying they gotta be drop dead gorgeous. Just why would you deal with crying, threats of withholding sex, threats of having, whatever the 4B, being nice to men? After a while, I got to imagine your self-preservation instincts and just common sense kicks in for the average guy. Say, fuck this shit. A lot of girls, and you're right, ladies. You go, well, they're wrong. They're the extreme. You better start showing us some cheerleaders. Show us where it's good. Show us the nice, sweet gal who, and to their credit, some of the TradCon people did do that. It did happen, but it's not nowhere near as much in the media. And then I'll say this again, when you go out in the real world, what do you see? I see fat people. You go in the real world, what do you see? Still a 45% divorce rate? Fuck it. Go into the real world, what do you see? Recently, the EU passed that sex is not a marital duty on the part of a woman, which, okay, fine, right? Again, my opinion is you shouldn't be able to force, like, yeah, hopefully your wife willingly wants to have it, but there's no sex. Okay, fine, bye, grounds for divorce. But it's no longer grounds for divorce. See, that was the EU's ruling. It's like, well, that's not grounds for divorce. All right, fine, I'm to blame. Whatever your reconcilable differences, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. But you see that, and you're like, wait, right, we don't want to be tyrants here, but not having sex isn't grounds for divorce now. This is the West. And Legion of Man's right. Fuck this. No. This is such a biased, warped game that's uphill with water rushing down it and people shooting bows and arrows at it. No. And this is a very important discussion. Because the number one thing you young guys are going to want is going to be a girl. That's how you're genetically programmed. You're horny. That's the way God or nature made you. This is how humans have, this is how we achieved what we achieved now. So you guys are, I measured it. You're going to spend around, well, nowadays, adjusted for inflation, you're probably going to spend around $300,000 cash expenses pursuing, attaining, and then ultimately disposing. You say, what do you mean disposing? Like divorce, right? And I measure, well, not all of us are going to get married or divorced. You're right. I factored that in. I accounted for it. The average man, you are going to spend $300,000 cash on your pursuit or your relationships with women. And that doesn't mean kids or buying the house or anything like that. That's just your pursuit. That's just the maintenance costs, I guess, the total costs of that. And that says nothing about your time you're going to invest, which I prorated. And I said, and if you took that time instead and you worked and you tossed that money along with the 300 grand into the S&P 500 by the time you were 70, which admittedly you're almost dead by the time. I'm just showing you the true lifetime opportunity cost. That's why I wanted to measure as a cost. You're looking at $9.6 million in today's money. Your entire life. And that's why, as an economist, I wanted to apply economics and measurement and statistics and say, look, guys, this is your number one pursuit in life. Before you were 12 or 13, you know what your number one pursuit in life was? Playing baseball or going biking around or playing video games and playing with your red truck when you're a little kid. And then you hit puberty, and then your number one thing is women until you're damn well near 50. And you're like, no, it sounds too late. No, huh? Talk to you for 3 hours? Get to know you. Whoa, hang on. I got to listen to you talk about your liberal arts degree and your going nowhere career and your blanket general leftist politics that I could just download from the Democrat website and read the platform. Like, you're not even human. There's no brain there. You're just exactly what society told you to be. I got to act like I'm interested in you on an intellectual level. So until you guys get to that time, you're going to waste nearly all your adult life and a significant percent of your youth pursuing these girls. And all I'm pointing out, I don't care. You just can't get laid. Small dick. You can't handle rich. You can ignore them all. I'm like, yeah, guys, you don't have time for this shit. It is, I am more for the passport bros or going overseas, whatever it is, simply because that's where the quality, caveats, the more marriage quality women are. Again, you're in the United States and the magnesium mines run out. What do? You got to import it. That's how simple and black and white this is to me. We ran out of magnesium. We got to import it. No different than Hawaii. Hawaii is a better example. It's an island, middle of freaking Pacific. We got coconuts and palm tree oil and sand. And we could grow some crops here, but we don't. We need to get the oil in. We need to get the cars in. Like, we don't have it here. You got to go overseas and import it. Just as you would any commodity or material good, you got to import it because it ain't there no more. And you girls may be upset. I'm sure at some level you girls are offended that men who want to get a traditional marriage, I qualify that they're not interested in you here and they're going overseas. That might offend you, but it shouldn't offend you. You should be happy because these guys, it wasn't going to work out with these guys anyway. They were looking for a traditional marriage. They would have been miserable married to you. You would have been pissed off. Half you would have ended up divorced anyway. And whatever it is you girls want to pursue, as perhaps described or epitomized by these women on their TikTok channels, whatever that is, sincerely, I hope you girls find it. I hope you find your Luigi. I hope you find your whatever, your violent illegal immigrant. I don't know what it is that you know what? Not my problem to figure that out right now. Your career, your education, your freezed egg, embryo, test tube babe, whatever it is, the handbag, go get it. Live your life. I don't want to interrupt you, and I want you to be happy doing what you want to do. But when it comes to traditional marriage for the male audience, for the, maybe, and gals, maybe you'll find that sensitive soy boy acoustic guitar playing Democrat mattress carrying guy who's really sensitive and I don't know what you can do. You do your thing. Maybe you find him. For most of you other normal guys, I don't mean Democrat, just guys who want to have sex and want to have a pleasant, supporting wife. You absolutely at least should factor in overseas women because domestic, we've ran out of magnesium. And I think if we could get to that point, I think we're kind of getting there where the passport bros have no shame. There should be no shame. It should be like, whoa, whoa, you're critiquing me. You wouldn't have gone out. We're done with this. I don't give a shit about your opinion. I don't give a shit about society's opinion. I want to get married. I want to be happy. I want to have some kids. I only have so much time. You only have so much money. Really, in my day, it was you pick up dancing or you go to the salsa club and you ask out a lot of girls. That takes a lot of effort. It's almost, if you know you want to get married and have kids or you want to have a family, it is a guarantee that at some point in your life, you're going to have to go play an away game. You have to play an away game. You're going to have to go on the road to play an away game or go overseas. And that's just what the economics are. So, yeah, okay, ladies, now you want guys again. And if it is true, and some of it is, I'm sure, it's got to be a pretty screwy world. No wonder you guys all crying so much, girls, because you're like, you can't, you're trying to serve two masters that are mutually exclusive. You want to be feminist girl boss. We're going to hold back sex, 4B movement. Why can't I find a man? You literally said in a video. He made it 33 days. He made it 1 month. You literally said in your video you didn't want no men. Men were pigs or whatever other stuff. If you watch the video, it's pretty atrocious, which is fine. I don't care. But then there's a month later, hey, I tried the dating apps and they all suck and rah. Sucks to be you, I guess. I beat the dog and now the dog won't cuddle up next to me, the cake and eat it too, right? I mean, it really is that. You girls can have one or the other, but you can't have both. You can't hate men, essentially, and not want to give them sex and not want to consider them and have a man at the same time. It just doesn't work that way. Now, if you guys can sell them some books like Oprah does and some movies about how they can have their cake and eat it too, lots of money. Playa. In the meantime, you know whose problem this is? This is why I want you. Let's 2025, new year, right? New year. Let's make some progress. I think we should just kind of ignore these girls now, right? Oh my God, look at that. Yeah, you're right. It's pretty fucked up. It's hypocritical. It's contradictory. It's very clickbaity. But you know what? That's the way they're going to go, right? They've given us a piece of the puzzle. Like, oh, okay, we got this piece of the puzzle. Now we move forward. We go on and do whatever. Okay, I'm going to go overseas. I'm going to hit the gym. You're going to read books. You're going to go hike. Whatever it is that you want to do. Don't let this stuff bother you anymore. The internet will always keep tabs on it. Joker does a great job keeping track of this. Legion of Men, FBE Capital. Every once in a while, I'll throw in some data instances like, yeah, here it is. Like the one I did with the EU ruling that sex is not a marital obligation. Like, okay. It's still fucked up. Keep going. Just check back in every once in a while. We'll keep you updated. We'll keep you apprised, but don't let this ruin your day, right? Yeah, like I was watching this video and they had the video of the girl from Minnesota. And it aggravated me. Like it's just like a baby screeching in a restaurant, right? It's nails. You can't help it. It's a biophysiological response. There's no mind over matter in this shit. Let them cry. Let them have the girls. Fine. Go get your clickbait. Oh, there was another one. I'm not doing makeup no more. And then he shows a video. She's doing makeup. Hey, that and for you young boys, I mean, I guess it was always this way. I didn't notice it when I was younger. look, these young girls, just like you young guy, you don't know what you're doing, right? And you think you know what you're doing until you get like, oh yeah, I didn't know what I was doing, or I fucked that up, or I didn't have the knowledge to know what I should be doing. That's maybe a better way of putting it. Because when I think I know what I'm doing, when I look back, let me give you a very simple example. Some people call it petty. I insist this is very important, and that is honoring your word. And the majority of time, 70% of the time, what would happen if I asked a girl out and she said yes, and she said, yeah, I got the number, we got a date, they'd flake 70% of the time. That's not acceptable. I know the female feminist, biased, leftist Democrat side is, well, again, just here's your standard sheet. You don't have to think about it. Well, you must have done something wrong. Small penis energy. Well, it's your fault, right? Well, she maybe. Oh, and then my favorite. Maybe she got hit by a truck. That was my favorite. Maybe she got hit by a truck. All that doesn't matter. You know what matters? Somebody said they do something and they didn't do it. I don't care if it's for dating or babysitting your dog or doing a job at the office. The majority of times, women would lie, and then their behavior would prove that they lied, essentially. It was the minority of women that honored their word. That's a fact. And I don't care what that moral choice is couched in. Well, it's a date. Well, then you should shut the fuck up. All that matters is the majority of women at that time lied. And when you look at that kind of behavior, and this is the 90s and the aughts, guys. I'm sure it's a little bit worse nowadays. It's not, you can't engage with a person or group of people if they're lying the majority of time. You can't create a business. You can't found a company. You can't run a society. You can't have a friendship. You can't have a romantic relationship where you're lying 70% of the time. And I don't care what emotional arguments they use to get you guys to, no, you lied. This is not a tenable situation. Investing in a situation where 70% of the time the information I was given was wrong, I'm being lied to, I don't have the time to waste that time. I got to go to where, are you going to show up for a date? There's a great book, The Nice Guy. Hang on. Nice Guy book. Oh, what was it? And it's not No More Mr. Nice Guy. Hang on. Let me think. You know what? Give me a second. Just bear with me. It's a book you really have to read, and he is kind of nerdy and cringy, but when he goes overseas, it wasn't what the nice things the girls were doing. It's just not once was he ever stood up. Hang on. I have to look it up on my phone. Here it is. Land of the Losers. There, that's the book. Hang on. Land of the Losers. Land of the Losers. I read that. And like I said, he's a nerd. There's no doubt about it. He's a nerd, kind of, not creepy, but definitely nerdy. And then he goes over to Asia, and again, it's not that she had big tits. It wasn't a penthouse form. It was like, it wasn't even stated. When I met her, it was assumed she was going to show up, and they did. And the girls were pleasant. Maybe it's Asian culture, but I was shocked how that he'd have a date with an Asian girl, and they'd bring like a little, I don't know, like a little gift, like a little anime bear. Just a little something, like a nice little thing. And you're like, oh, that's, like a keychain, and it had a little anime, your cartoon on it. And you got, give me 7, oh, not to keep this longer than it has to be. Legion of Men was also talking about, because he has a foreign wife, and he's met other people and women, and just so you know, they are mentally ill here. It is not mentally healthy to hate the opposite sex. Be critical of, constructively, have expectations of, sure. We are in a mentally ill epic where largely feminism has just trained generations now of women to hate men. And maybe not hate, maybe that might be too strong, but certainly view them as the enemy. They're the adversary. They're your rival. The rest of the world is looking at American women right now and they're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what, not, are you men that bad today? Like, what is wrong? Now, they may see nothing but TikTok videos as well, and their views might be biased, but they're looking at like, are you crazy? And so while you're in the thick of it, again, guys, you got to know when society has lost their minds and the individual is right, it's not normal or healthy. If you watch that TikTok shit, which again, the volcano at Mordor, that's not healthy. That's not normal. Shouldn't be that way. We shouldn't have to be to the point that the EU High Ruling Court says sex is not grounds for divorce. Hey. And you can fight and bang the table. What the hell is up? Or you can just say, you know what? I'm going to knuckle down, going to work some extra shifts, save up some money. I got a friend over, whatever, Vietnam or down in Colombia, and they said there's some nice people down there. And I'm going to go be like George Gammon. I'm going to check that place out. And oh, look, Juanita. And she's nice and sweet and kind. I got a hiking buddy. He got his wife down in Colombia. I wonder if he's back yet. Anyway, you don't have time to be hanging out with people that don't like you, right? We already did that in middle school and high school, right? You don't have time to be hanging out with people that don't like you, especially your free time. Right? You got to do that at work. Go work. Get your finances together. Get your financial shit together so you can go and play some away games. And then just go to where people treat you kindly, whether that's socially or romantically. And, out of the $300,000, I think probably 10, not all in one shot, but $10,000 should be spent on you going overseas and seeing what the magnesium mines look like over there. All right, link below. Got a link to all my shit because I didn't know what was this specifically linked to. I got courses through Teachable that are all pretty much financial planning. If you don't like paying, because they're more expensive, because I had to like film them and edit them and all that other crap. If you don't like the price or you just take in information better through reading, I have books, again, generally around personal financial management. That is also linked below. You may want to look at the Book of Numbers, Analyzing the ROI in the Pursuit of Women. That specifically addresses what we're talking about here. How much money you're going to spend, how much time, what are your chances, what does the current modern day profile, makeup, portfolio of women look like through the lens of a traditional marriage-minded man. I got a link to my Amazon affiliate if you want to do some shopping this weekend. That'd be nice. And that's about it. I'm sure I got some links to other stuff below. We'll see you guys later. Oh, wait, not see us later. We got to go to the super chats. My God, how bad. Look at that. I almost cheated my audience out of their super chats. My truth, the king. Who hurt you, Cappy? Most of them did. I get a kick out of that. Who hurt you? If everyone were to answer that question honestly, they say most people. Americans are assholes. Most people here are assholes. Forget women standing up 70% of the time. How many bosses gave you the up and up and the straight dope on the job? The vast majority of people in this country treat everyone like shit. Who hurt you? Nearly everyone. Why? Where are you from where no one hurts you? Tell me where. Can I move there? What's the zip code? I'm moving to the spot in America where people aren't constantly trying to fuck each other in the ass with a dildo. Where is the non-ass fucking dildo county in this country? Aaron was ahead of his time. Thank you, King. Thank you. Chase Robido, $5. I'm thinking I should start an accounting and tax channel. Do it. Vlad Elkins did it, and he's now internationally famous. Robert Archer, a real man who works in a real state, can't afford dry cow in the herd soon enough to the sale barn to make room for something that profits the herd. Yes, if you guys don't know, Robert Archer is like farmhand, kind of ranch hand, farmhand, but like old school, like you could run a farm. because he was talking to me about, hey, if these young men want to look for a job, go become a farm hand or a ranch hand. And I'm like, I don't know if they want to do that, but again, there's money to be made. But yeah, if you got a dry cow, meaning she ain't making milk no more, yeah, there's no assets there. Why would you keep that cow there when there could be a cow that has milk, or a beef cow you could sell off for the meat? Same thing with a household. Everyone has a job to keep it running. Have a good day, Mr. Cappy. Yep. I would love, if these girls are being 100% sincere, I would love for them to describe what the perfect relationship would be, like in terms of what the guy looks like, what is his beliefs, how are chores in a household distributed and done so that the household is run. What are your life goals? I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. What are you seriously? Are you going to have sex, or is that like something that oh my God, no. Reen, $2. The girls are looking for their alpha simp. Yeah, you're right. Thanks, Reen. Alpha simp. It's mutually exclusive. It just doesn't happen. Don't worry, but dears, he's just around the corner. He's don't you dare settle. That nice boy over there who drives a good pickup boy, young man. That nice 30-year-old man who drives a pickup truck and is a plumber. He's got pretty big arms. Once he takes off his overalls, he could clean up pretty good in the shower after working a day with poo. And he makes some good money. You should consider that. He voted once Republican. I think they send him off to the camps and kill him. Assy the Nader, $5. Western men want feminine women. Look, all men want feminine women. That's it. I don't know. Ladies in America understand there's male and female. I don't know if if you've seen the animal kingdom or even electricity, opposites attract. Western women wanted masculine men, so they import them, mainly EU. US women want masculine dem unicorns. Right. Here's another thing. We don't have time for the mental games. You just don't. I don't have time to court someone with the idea of marriage and family in mind. And you're this batshit insane, loopy feminist 20-something girl who's trying to be popular and say the right political things, but then I want a and then you have your genetics where you want a masculine man, but he can't vote. I got to change the oil, right? Like I gotta go to the gym. I gotta do work, and I don't have time for your mentally ill bullshit puzzle to figure. I'm not a puzzle solver. Solve your own damn puzzle. Don't have time for this shit. And let's say you had some free time. Do you want to deal with? Do you want to deal with that, or would you rather just read a book? Would you rather just play some video games? Or save your money, toss it into the foreign travel fund, and then that night instead you buy a hotel for 3 days in the future at some time. It's not our responsibility to figure out what you girls should want. It's not a responsibility. We're not doing that. You do not have the time. Ryan NG KES. Well, NG, is that Vietnamese? What's a KES? KES. That's not Swedish. What is KES? Hang on, let's look this up. KES to USD. Kenyan. Cow. I was way off. Way off. He just sends 100 Kenyan. What is the thing? Kenyan shillings. Kenyan shillings. Well, we're learning something new every day. Eddie, $5. Did farmhand for 4 years in high school, made me the man I am today, and I have a very hard work ethic because of it. Yep. Yep. And Reen again, $2. Legion of Men also talked about the Skittles man. Yeah, I didn't know what the Skittles man was, but every girl wanted it. He has to have like everything. I guess that's what a Skittles man is. I call it Voltron. where you know, you have to be strong physically, you need a big dick, and you need to make a lot of money, but you have to be sensitive, and they find individual pieces like the lions and Irene, are you even old enough to remember Voltron? In each line they want, but then they want them to form Voltron. And it's like, well, no guy is Voltron. It doesn't work. There you guys go. Questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com, where we answer your questions as long as you got money. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.